now what we want to do is we want to bring this edge and this edge so that they join right here approximately in the middle. Okay, so the way we can do that is by making sure that our snaps also allow for middle point, right? So what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and turn this into an editable object. So we click cube and there's this little icon here with all these edges and a pencil. So we go ahead and click that. Now that becomes a different type of icon, right? So it's a polygon object icon. That's what that icon looks like. That means now we can select the edges, the points, and also the polygons as well. So if we go ahead in top left hand corner and expand that, and if we go ahead and click say this side, that's so I can see how everything is now clickable and selectable. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and hit the points menu item. Now what we can do is go ahead and select all the edges here and now move them inside. Oops, hang on. Now we've got this enable access selected, so we have to make sure it's not selected. So make sure that's not there. So that means we can actually move the edges now. So as we move the edges, the top edges move together. And we will find the middle approximately there. There we go, it's snapped in the middle. So what we now need to do is get these other edges. So just move the object to the side, select all these, and do the same. There we go. So now we have a triangular object that's 16.8 centimeters in height and around about 6 centimeters in length and width. However, once we connected these 2 points, right, if I go ahead and select that one there, for example, that should be just 1 point, but there's actually 2 points because remember we had 2 sides that we're joining together. So we're just going to weld that so we don't have any problems after that. So the way we do that is by clicking the weld button on the left hand side. So let's try that again. Let's reverse. So go ahead and click rectangle, click all the points. It should have 2 points here. Now click the weld button. And it's just to ask you, where do you want to weld it? Well, we want to weld it in the same spot. So just click that spot again. Notice how the points have gone now from 2 to 1. All right. Now, I know this, you can't actually see this very well because we actually snapped it on top of each other. So those 2 points are actually sitting one on top of the other. That's why you can't actually see it very well. So let's do the same thing again. Rectangle selection. We have 2 points. We go to weld and we weld it into 1 point. Okay, so now that we've done that, we need to get these curved edges so that the shape looks something like that. The way we're going to do that is using the bevel tool. Now, prior to that, let's just position it so that the actual triangle edges are just a little bit above these particular angled edges here of the actual picture. So what we're going to do is kind of select the whole thing by clicking this button here, the model itself, and select the move and go into top view and just move it down there. Okay. So you can sort of eyeball this. The area here and here and here should be approximately the same. So now what we're going to do is select the edges. So we're not going to select the top edges, we're going to select the side edges. The way we're going to do that is just simply by going here, select the brush selection, that's the easiest way I guess, and move away from the model to the edges right here. Right, so that's that icon here. So I'm going to click that one, and Alt, left mouse button, turn around and click Shift and click that. So we'll go. So I have to Shift, click all these. Now you see all the edges highlighted. What we now need to do is looking at the top view. So middle mouse button, click on top of the top view. We should see this. Go ahead and click bevel. Now you don't see it, but those edges are still selected. So now what we want to do is increase the subdivisions, so maybe till about 6, right? And left mouse button, click anywhere on the screen and pull in. Oops, something went horribly wrong. Let's have another look. Oh, okay. Let's try that again. And left mouse button click and drag up. You should start getting this this particular view. Now you can move around with that a little bit until you get it just about right. You can use the offset on the right hand side to help you with that, or gauge it, but this looks about right as far as the shape that we're after. So we're just looking for the shape, not necessarily the scale. We'll scale it out a little bit later, but for now we can see the shapes there. But notice how the edge is a little bit sharp, so let's increase the subdivisions, right? And right, okay, that looks approximately what we're looking for. So now let me just change the view a little bit, make it a little bit more transparent. Okay, so that's the background picture, so it's not so glary, but that's about right. That's the sort of the shape that we're after, right? Now that we've got the right shape, what we now need to do is select the model, go over here to scale, and just scale it to fit the image. Now it's a little bit off center, so we're just gonna grab the whole thing and drag it down a little bit and continue with the scaling. I think the top scales are fine, but now let's just try to scale it outwards a little bit. Okay, and I think that should be about right. So we've got the edges overlapping perfectly. So if we hit the left middle mouse button again, that is the shape that we've just achieved by doing that exercise. So let's have a look at it a little bit closer. Middle mouse button on the perspective view, Alt, left mouse button, and move mouse around. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen, this is your speaker. Okay, so great. Now,